Welcome to the Principal Podcast, where we talk about how the best professional services firms grow. Whether you're looking to scale your firm or learn from the stories of founders and leaders who've done it, you're in the right place. Join us as we interview the best leaders in professional services. Let's get on with the show.
Good afternoon, everyone. On Principal Podcast today, we have a real special guest, and I'm lucky to be talking to her because I read her background. It's fascinating. Her name is Lisa Peers. She's the founder and CEO of Peers and Players. Very interesting company who comes in and really believes in a business philosophy that the quality of conversation determines the quality of a business relationship. And her company thrives in making sure companies have that ability to do that. So I'm not going to go much further into that. I'm going to Lisa tell her story. So one of the first things people like to know is, how did you get involved in choosing this as your profession and coming from acting into this business consulting? How did that all evolve?
Well, honestly, it was a financial decision initially, because I was a
Okay.
jobbing actor in Australia. I did a lot of film, TV, stage, everything. And then I had kids, and my kids were small, and I didn't want to be going off to go on tour or whatever and leave them. I was very
Right.
committed to being with them. My parents were
Motherhood.
also actors,
Right.
so I knew what it was like to grow up, backstage.
Oh, okay.
So someone asked me to do role play, which is practicing difficult conversations with people and giving them coaching and playing a variety of different roles, but in the corporate environment rather than performing on stage, which was what I was used to.
Right.
And I loved it. I loved helping people and being able to share what an actor knows about how you come across and how to use your voice and your body, etc., to have the impact that you want to have. So, long story short, I started a small team in Australia. I didn't really have a team, but I approached companies and they're like, oh, well, we need somebody next week. So I quickly got a team of fellow role players together. And then
Okay.
obviously got the website and got the word out there, and then exponentially grew. Do you have people in Singapore? Do you have people in Brazil? Do you have people in
Right.
Tokyo? And every time I would get one
Wow.
of those inquiries, I would yeah, if we can get the people.
Well, of
And over the
course.
years,
Yeah.
I've honed the ability to be able to find amazing actors who are also coaches around the world. And now I also live in San Francisco, which is the tech hub, and so we have a lot of
Right.
clients in that sphere.
We,
So it sort of
the
just grew over
interesting
the years.
dynamic. Yeah. Yeah. The interesting dynamic of what you do is you work with people, in particular if you're in the tech industry, who aren't necessarily comfortable having conversation. They're a group of people, and I do corporate training and development. I have since my own company since 1988. And in my job, all I do is I train people, and then they have to execute a simulated call. I play 25 different characters. No one ever knows who I'm going to be, but I have different personality traits and all the things I do. So I totally relate to what you do. It's fascinating. I love it. I love what I do, and I bet you love what you do. So when you're dealing with tech people, the challenge is they're not necessarily expressive. They're more pragmatic in their dialogue and their conversation. So you've got to pull them out of it. And I imagine that's what your role plays do. That's so cool. I love it. So tell me a bit about, when you look at, what do you think problems you see and you help solve in the companies you work with?
Well, I mean, for the company, the problem is that people are leaving because it's such a throwaway society now. They're like, oh, I don't get on with my manager. I don't get on with my team. I don't like that
Right.
feedback that I got given or whatever. I'm just going to go somewhere else. And so the bottom line for the company is retention, trying to
Right.
keep their staff happy and productive and working well together does affect the bottom line. And for the actual individuals that we work with, it's the same thing in terms of being happier at work, having a framework
Right.
and practicing things that are difficult so that when you actually go to do them, you have some level of skill and experience and a sort of experiential understanding of what to do rather than just, oh, I've learned these models, whatever, and, but how do I actually do it?
Yeah, they can't be robotic. It's got to be natural, and that takes practice, and that takes what you're doing and coaching with them. I understand that.
We ask people to be more of their authentic self. We're the ones who are playing a character, like you said before. We're the ones who are playing a role. but we want people to bring out their own inherent human qualities of empathy and impact and leadership, more of the strengths that we already have, rather than we're not asking people to play a role. We want them to be just an enhanced and a
No,
better version of themselves.
exactly. So let me ask you a question. Do you go and work with individuals who agree to come to work with you, or do you contract with companies and then they assign you to individuals?
We do both. I mean, our biggest revenue
Okay.
stream is working for big global companies. And like I said, because we
Okay.
have people in all the places where they are, they'll hire us to do
Right.
trainings in all those different regions. But we also get a lot of people these days just coming to us individually saying, oh, I've got a presentation to give. I need to hone it, practice it, or I have a
Wow.
difficult conversation or a job interview that I need to
hmm
accomplish. And so then we'll work just, separately with that individual to sort of get the skills so that when they go into that real life situation, they feel confident.
Tell me, who is your what we call ICP, your ideal client profile? Who are those people?
Well, we work with, like I said, tech companies, law firms, global, like insurance companies.
Okay.
But our biggest, like in
Okay.
terms of a case study, we worked with Cisco Systems, which is a big global tech company,
Oh, yeah.
and with Adyen, who are a
It's right there in
fintech.
the Bay Area, isn't it? Yeah.
They're based in the
It's in
Bay
the San
Area.
Francisco area, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, in the Bay Area, but also they have all the people around the world. So they're sort of our ideal client in terms of helping them to have a company-wide culture of communication, but with
Right.
the nuances of the different regions and the different languages sometimes. We have people speaking Japanese or Portuguese, Spanish, whatever,
Okay.
but still bringing that sort of culture, that global culture together as well. So that's sort of our
Well,
ideal client.
okay. And yet you do get individuals who reach out to you. So that's one of my next thoughts.
Yeah.
How do
Yeah.
people hear about you? How do they hear about peers and players? What methodology do you use to market? Do you use referrals, email? Do you do websites, social media? What methods do
We
you use to attract clients?
largely I mean, apart from referrals, because we've been around for 28 years now. And so a lot of people, they work with us at
Oh,
one company, they go to another company, they introduce us
mm-hmm.
there. And so a lot of it is
Correct.
like word of mouth referrals.
Mm-hmm.
But the website, of course, is a big tool. And so for people who know what
Okay.
they're looking for, that they're looking for actors to help, actors who are also coaches, then we get those clients through the website, through Google search,
Okay.
just through search in general. Yeah.
Wow, that is so cool. I mean, I'd never perceived or thought of any of that, but until I saw your bio and I go, oh my God,
Yeah,
this is
thanks.
fabulous. So
But the
I think
thing
it's pretty
is, for
cool.
us,
Have you?
the challenge is educating people that this exists. And so then we use LinkedIn and, the other socials to sort of
Mhm.
talk about the benefits of what we do. Because like you said, many, many people, especially in the States, not so much in Europe and Australia, haven't heard of using a professional independent company to help you to practice these conversations.
Yeah, I think it's great. All right, so tell me a bit about since you can't be everywhere, you founded the whole deal. You've had to
Yeah.
bring your people in. How did you develop your team to do what you want, Lisa?
Yeah, it's fairly complex, even though it doesn't sound like it is, because not every actor can do this work. You don't have to be able to
Right.
just act a role, because a lot of actors are so um, involved with portraying that character that they're not necessarily focused on the other person. So we're
hmm
looking for people who are more like supportive actors, supporting actors who are there really to it's almost like you're an actor, you're also directing the scene if it's a role play of a conversation. You're also editing it because you're prompting for those behaviors that you're looking for.
hmm
And then you take that hat off and then you're the coach. So then you have to have good recall about, well, when you said this, I felt that, or when you did this, or when you had this body language or tone or whatever, it had this impact on me. And then coaching. So I suggest in future that you use these skills to be
Work
more
on these
effective.
skills, right?
So it's a fairly
Do you
complex thing.
do you videotape the process?
Not usually, no. Which is why people often ask, like, do you have videos? It's like, well, it's very confidential work. And to keep it,
No, I would concur with that, but I mean videotape the exchange and the simulation, because then you can use the video as playback as a coach and point out, oh, here's where you did that, here we're going to do that.
yeah,
Because people don't always believe what they do until they see it. And that's just
that's
a
right.
reference point that I've learned when I started off in my whole career at Xerox Corporation. They videotaped everything and they play it back and they break down what you did well. We could improve. No, it's a very powerful learning experience, and that's what I do
Yes.
in my company.
Is
Every
it?
call that I do with all my students, we videotape it and we break it down. What you did well. I'm playing a character that I was told to play by their company based on
Yes.
their business model,
Yes.
and then we videotape the exchange and play it back. It's a pretty powerful tool. You may want to even add that
Yeah.
to your bag of tricks as you go forward if you choose. But yeah, you don't
Yeah.
show that to the outside world.
No.
It's an internal
I
utilization.
mean, quite
But
often
anyway, so
if we're doing an in-person event, we will say, if you want to, you can record this on your own phone. And so, we're
okay,
quite often working in a group. We've got, say, 4 to 6 participants, and
okay,
each one has a
okay.
turn and supports each other in these
Oh,
conversations.
okay. So
So
they
do you
do it in
want to
front of
hand
their
your
group.
phone?
Okay.
You hand your phone to somebody, they can video it, and then you can watch it later. But, you're right. I mean, that
Okay.
is something that we sometimes are asked to do, but um, it's not very often. Usually it's a live experience. It's a
Okay.
very visceral experience.
Okay, good. So when you look at your customers currently, let's say they reach out to you, Lisa, and they are interested in doing something. From that point of initial contact to when they actually start to work with you, what's that normal selling cycle like?
Well, they reach out. We have forms and so on the website, or they call. Usually it's this. They'll email us or fill out that inquiry form, and then I or one of my project managers will call them and really ascertain what they're looking for, what their challenges are,
Right.
and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And once we've had that conversation, then we create a proposal, and then questions back and
Right.
forth, and then sign on the dotted line, give us a deposit, and we're off to the races.
There you go. There you go. So, on average, is that a 1 week after contact? Is it a month? What do you have to do to earn that business
Yeah.
from the client?
Often too, we will give them other clients as referrals, and they'll call those other clients because we don't have
Right.
video very much.
Right.
So sometimes, I mean, it depends. If they're like, well, we've got an event next week, well, then we have to hustle. But
Right.
sometimes it's
Right.
over a 2, 3, or even a 6-month period. If it's a big conference
Okay.
or something like that, then we did a big conference for Agen where we had 59 actors and 750
Oh,
participants.
wow.
Well, that was like a 6 months process because,
I bet.
designing and casting and training and showing up in
And,
Amsterdam,
oh my goodness.
that took quite
And
a
you're
bit of time.
responsible for all of them. Good luck on
Yeah,
that one. 59
yeah,
actors. There you go.
yeah. We did
So
100 once on one
tell,
event.
oh my Lord. I bet that was a wild event.
Yeah.
So tell me a bit about maintaining your client base. So you get someone to work with you and you guys have gone in and done your work. Do you have a contract that lasts for a period of time that automatically renews, or do you have to have new contracts with everybody? And what's your retention strategy that you use to keep clients?
That's a really good question because we do have some clients that we retain over, like I said, 7 years, 5 years.
Wow.
But sometimes we have just a one-off thing. We've got this conference,
Mm-hmm.
we just have
Mm-hmm.
a statement of work and a contract for that one event. So it really depends a lot on the company. I mean, if it's a insurance company or like a legal firm or something like that, then of course there's going to be a lot more red tape and a lot more, there's
Right.
usually an NDA, so we'll sign the
Right.
non-disclosure. But it varies very much from company to company and what people are looking for.
Okay. And do you find you have clients, as you said, you have referrals, but clients who come back after they maybe had one experience and then a year or two later, there's some change of personnel or whatever, and now they bring you back?
Yes, yes.
Good.
Yeah.
Do you have a systematic follow-up with your clients to make sure? And how do they, and that's always fascinating to me, because what we're doing is kind of a soft skill. It isn't a tangible, you're building a product. It's
Exactly.
changing a mindset and
Yes.
helping them. How do you measure the metrics of success with your client?
That's a very good question and something that is a little elusive. Um, because we often only get to work with a participant once or maybe twice, and so the main metric is that that client comes back to us. They come back to we usually send out a feedback, an evaluation at the end of a job.
Mhm.
And using that evaluation, they will come back to us with other participants and more people. So we do collect some data, and we do send out surveys and things like that with, multiple
Okay.
questions about the efficacy of what we did in the back end and then what
Right.
the coaches did in the front end. But it's not,
Okay.
like you said, it's not that easy to get actual data in terms of what we're talking about before. Did this really
Right.
affect your retention? Did this really make your leaders more effective leaders or your managers better managers? It's something we're constantly like evaluating and working on to find out how we can get
It's
stats.
next to
Where are the
impossible.
stats?
Trust me. Let me
What
tell
was
you,
that?
it's next to impossible. It's next to impossible
I'm
because
glad to hear
you're
you say
delivering a
that.
skill set.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're delivering a skill set that people may not have, but they don't understand. It's not a measurable. Okay, I did this, I'm going to do 2 more units. Or I did this, I'm going to do 5 more units. Well, how do you
Yeah.
know? Was it the pricing of the product, or was it your now new skills of being able to communicate more effectively?
Yeah.
It's so intangible, you can't put it. So don't drive you crazy trying to come up with metrics. It's not going to. It's got to be a
But people like
experience that they
metrics.
enjoyed.
When we do a
Oh, I know
proposal
they
or whatever,
do.
people like to have some data, and there is data out there that we do draw on, especially when we're doing LinkedIn posts and things like that, because I think
Uh-huh.
that's important.
Okay. That's somewhat measurable. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
All right. So tell me, as you look ahead, where do you see the biggest challenges for you and your team in growth?
Has everybody said AI to that question?
Pretty
Um,
much.
Look, I
But
mean,
some people see different challenges, but yeah, that's one of them.
in our business, it's not necessarily a cheap, service that we're giving because it's very high quality. We have very stringent, criteria for my people and the way they work with people and
Right.
making what we do really useful. And so people do think, well, I can do a cheap simulation with an AI avatar and practice some of these skills. So why would I use a person? And as AI is developing more and more and getting better and better, it is appealing for people. And
It
we just
is,
have
but I can
we have
tell
to
you,
embrace that.
yeah, use it as a tool, not as a
Yes,
replacement.
exactly.
And I think that's critical to understand that because
Yeah.
I myself have had people approach me and say, hey, let's do your class AI. And I spent 2 months on a project looking into could they replicate what I do spontaneously in my role plays.
Yeah.
And they can't. They can only have some conditioned answers, but not instinctive. And
Not
what
the
you
new
guys do is instinctive. No, yeah. And you have to read and interpret the person you're interacting with and know where you push, where you back off, what do you do, what's the learning point you're trying to establish. And that could change mid discussion.
Yes.
And so you've got to
And
be able to
and
be flexible. And that's what your actors can do.
and the intangible thing too that, is to bring your heart and your soul and
Oh,
your
yeah.
true desire to help somebody. And so there's a lot of
Yep.
things that AI is not, doesn't have a heart or a soul. And
No,
I would tell
no.
my actors, keep
Thank
going.
God. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not yet
Oh,
anyway.
totally.
So
Yeah. Let's keep it that way, hopefully.
And also
So,
AI impacts us in terms of the information machine, because there's just so
okay.
much content out there now. There's so many people posting things. It takes a nanosecond, to people to write an article that's probably drawing on things that I've actually written, that people have actually said and written,
Oh, I
and it
know.
just puts it all together and regurgitates it. And so I think it's getting
It's pretty
harder and
staggering.
harder. It's what?
It's staggering.
Yeah.
I mean, I've
It's
seen
getting
instances of things that are just amazing.
but it's getting harder and harder to find out, well, is this a genuine thing, or is it just something that's pulled together by AI to create some article or something? Uh,
You're spot on, because when I do work, and you probably do similar things, you ask someone to give, I put them through an initial kind of survey to make sure I understand what they're trying to accomplish. And I get back stuff. Sometimes it's written so beautifully. I go, that wasn't that fast. Something you sat down and did. You were smart enough to use AI and have it sent
yeah.
to me. That always disturbs me a little bit. But anyway, I still believe in human creativity, and I want to see your thought process. I don't want to see some computerized report. So let's look at opportunities. So as you look, you talk about the challenge of AI. What are your biggest opportunities as you look to the future for your company? Peers and players. What does that future look like?
Well, the more we have AI and the more we don't have human contact, the more we need it. And so, people do still understand that, oh, I spent 5 years learning to be a coder, or learning to be an engineer or whatever, but I have no clue of how to raise up my team, how to get people to be more cooperative, more empathetic.
Right.
And so, in a way, that whole AI revolution is also creating opportunities in terms of, wow, wait a minute, I need to learn to be a better human being, because we do still
Right.
need to interact with each other. And so I think that's the
You're so
opportunity.
right.
Yeah.
And because of what happens is, and you hit it on the head, the people and especially in the tech industry, I mean, they're brilliant. They're unbelievable what they can do.
So
But
brilliant.
they may not ever speak. They may not even speak to the person in the office next to them for 3 months. And if they do, it's an awkward conversation at best. So if they really need to start to integrate and interact together, they don't have that skill set. And so what you do is super necessary in that industry, in that geographical area. It is all around the world, but I mean, in particular, you picked a great sweet spot. So when you look at, for you, do you speak at conferences regarding this capability? Do you guys have conferences that might talk about how you could come in and help people at a general conference somewhere?
We don't currently, but I am interested in that. I mean, my dichotomy most of my life until recently was that I had my acting career here and my business, running my business over here, and I didn't necessarily integrate those two parts of myself.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I've been doing it for longer, I realize that, hey, I have a lot of wisdom, I have a lot of experience, and I should be promoting myself more, because I'm the driver of the methodology that we use.
Right.
And so, yeah, I'm interested in doing more of that now that I've finally managed to, oh, yeah, all these parts are integrated into our offering, as it were.
Yeah, it's essential, because there's only one Lisa, and there's not going to be the ability for you to impart that knowledge unless you figure out ways to become more effective in how you distribute that knowledge, whether it be at conferences, podcasts, whatever it may be. I mean,
Yeah.
you got the ability because you're the driver. You created it. And I totally understand that, trust me.
Yeah.
So
Sounds
with
like
that
you
being
have a
said,
similar. Yeah, go ahead.
oh, yeah, exactly. So can you believe our 25, 30 minutes is already up? What's the best way to reach peers and players, and how to contact you if they're interested to go further in what you guys can deliver?
Well, you can reach out to me, Lisa, at peersandplayers.com. Our website,
Okay.
peersandplayers.com,
Okay.
has information about all our
Oh,
services and offerings and things like that.
okay.
You can call us, US 415-887 8478. And
Great.
Mainly it's the website.
There you go.
I'd say, because if you want to have more information about what we do and what we believe in, that's
The website will be the best way.
Yeah.
And or email Lisa, and you got our
LinkedIn,
number there at
too.
the end as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
LinkedIn, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you, Lisa. I've enjoyed the conversation. It's been fascinating for me. I
Thank
can
you.
relate to everything, and it's been enjoyable. And I wish you nothing but success for your company as you go ahead.
Thank you so much, Dennis. It's been a pleasure.
You're so welcome.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of the Principal Podcast. We hope you've learned valuable lessons and strategies to grow your firm and take your business to the next level. Make sure to subscribe and leave us a review wherever you're listening to this show so you never miss an episode. To apply and be a guest on the show, click the link in the description. See you next time.